Waiting on you. You gotta hit record.
I did.
Welcome back to the Bar Talk podcast. Oh, you were gonna say something?
Come on. All right. Keep it professional.
When? Since when?
What podcast are you on?
So that other voice you hear is Karl Heine of Tolson Tavern in Pembroke and New World Tavern, where we're recording today. Thank you, Karl, for letting us record.
You're welcome. Hello, everybody.
We are also joined by Dan Mahoney of Stats.
What up?
I'm Andy. I didn't announce who I was. And we're joined today by Cam from Honey Baby.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
So we invited you on because Jordan was going to be here, and Jordan shits on mixologists, and you're kind of a mixologist, so like.
Well, we actually shit on whoever's not here. So that's not really fair.
Yeah.
So today we're shitting on Jordan.
Yeah. So let's.
Today we're shitting on Jordan, right?
So talk some trash about Jordan.
I was actually getting ready for this because I figured you might be here, so I was getting all my mixology ideas ready for a duke out battle with him.
Yeah. This would be better though. We can turn this into a bunch of episodes you fight with them not here, and then they'll come back and fight with you.
So what do you hate about
out
chicken wings, Cam?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They're
So does that make him a chickenologist?
A wing specialist?
a wingist.
Wingist?
Ooh,
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, do you consider yourself a mixologist? What's a mixologist? Is it bullshit? Is it real?
It's bullshit. It's totally bullshit. I hate that title.
All right, well, there goes all my arguments today.
I know. Disarming everybody right from the beginning. No, it's like you call a cook a chef, and it's like a title, and it's kind of a respect thing. But I think mixologists right now all look like the same. They look like me, and they have a bun and a mustache, and they pick it all the time, and they try to tell you that the daiquiri is the best thing in the world, and they have 100 different ways of making it, and theirs is always the best one, but it's not any of that. There's 5 different kinds of cocktails. If you can make them, that's great. If you can't, that's also fine. Anybody who tries to make a really cool cocktail when all you want was a vodka soda is an asshole. And that's how I feel about it.
I respect that.
That's how I feel about it,
So
That's what I was going to say.
So is it kind of? Oh, go on.
I'm with you. This is how I did this. I'm with you, and I'm with you, and I'm not with you. I think there's a difference between a mixologist and a bartender, because I think a lot of people can bartend, but not a lot of people can make specialty drinks or come up with specialty drinks. And by specialty drinks, I'm thinking, I don't even know how to explain it. Let's say a rum punch. I want the corny rum punch that I got in Mexico 3 years ago with a pineapple on it. But that is not a rum punch to a lot of people. That's the cheapest rum punch you can get. Stick it in a bottle and put a floater on top, and that's your rum punch. But I think there's different ways of making a rum punch. And the only way I'm saying this is because it was actually you that convinced me there's different ways. I went to your place and...
You get credit for convincing Karl.
Right
there.
So I went there, and there's a whole host of problems out there in the beer world, or I should say bar world, that I'm old. I don't get the QR codes. I mean, I get it, but I'm not a QR code guy. I don't want to see the menu on my phone. I just want a paper menu, because then I'm going to ask for a sheet of glasses behind the bar so I can read that paper menu. But I just want something quick, and...
I mean, it just took you 15 minutes to take Cam's photo.
I know.
Yeah.
So,
bear in mind, there's a Zoom feature on your phone, too. Let's get the juice.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm fucking around with my phone, and I think at one point you noticed I was getting a little aggravated, probably more with my phone than anything else. And you're like, well, I said, can you just make me a rum drink? And you're like, yeah, you know what? I'll make your rum drink right now. I'll take care of it. I said, some sort of rum punch, rum drink, I'll take whatever you got. Meanwhile, I'm still fucking around on my phone trying to get the interweb on it and everything. And the drink came over, and it was what I would call a specialty drink from a mixologist. It had, if I remember correct, it was in a highball glass, it was a round ice cube, and it was whatever ingredients that you put into it. So it was not, to me, the rum punch that in my mind I was looking for. I'm just looking for that Mexican restaurant fruity drink.
You
with a
want
bunch
an
of
umbrella,
cherries.
that's all.
Yeah, an umbrella.
Umbrella, nice.
Um,
float.
So I got it, and I'm thinking, okay, it's a small glass. There's a lot of booze. Oh boy. I tried it. I'm like, whoo, it's pretty good, but it's boozy because it had a lot of rum in it. By the time I got to the bottom of that drink, I was like, this is the best rum drink I've ever had. And I am hard to convince that foo-foo shi-shi rum drink from a mixologist would be better than my Mexican restaurant. Chuck all the juices in there and the sugars in there and the pineapples and everything. And I was very impressed. So I think there's a place for a cocktail, call it a cocktail bar, would you? But I don't think all bars can be a cocktail bar. Because I think if you have a big crowd there and it's let's call it a big place, and you've got 15 people at the bar, it's hard for what I would say a mixologist is to keep up with the crowd. Because you want to talk to them and you want to say, instead of that vodka soda, we have the specialty blah, blah, blah. Maybe you want to try that, but you can't because there's 2 people deep and you just want to get to the next person, get to the next person, get to the next person. So I think that there is a place for both. But I think the people that are going into the place that is a mixologist bar is expecting that I want to hear all about your rums. I want to hear all about your vodkas. I want to hear all about your tequilas.
And I think that's
where a regular, I won't say a regular bar, but a bar pub, people just want, I'll take a Tito's and soda. And it doesn't matter what you can convince them into. They're like, that's great. Can I get my Tito's and soda now?
Yeah. And I think that's like Honey Baby is a craft cocktail bar. I think that's a good description opposed to calling the person a mixologist because it's really the expectation of the bar going in. Like you can take a mixologist, and you're right, and put them in a high volume Friday night Bud Light kind of place, and they're not going to be able to hack it because they're going to...
Or they're either not going to be able to hack it or they're not going to like it at all.
Right. Yeah.
Because it's not what they want to do.
And so in the same aspect where if you're the customer and you're looking for, just give me a Bud Light, I just want a Bud Light, and go and then be like, well, what flavors do you like? And we have like this syrup that I've been working on for 2 weeks and blah, blah, blah. And I can be like, I just want Bud Light.
Right.
But that's what I like about Honey Baby is I go in, they're like, what do you want? I'm like, I don't know, make me something. And they're like, do you like tequila? I'm like, I love tequila. And
so I'm going to let Cam talk because he's our guest. And I'm going to preface this with what you just said. Customer comes up and says, I don't know what I want. You just make me something. Do you hate it? Do you love it? I hate it as a bar owner because now I'm going to give that customer a drink that they might not like and they say, oh, I don't like this. I'm saying, well, tough shit. You're paying for it anyway, if you drink it or not. I mean, it's a lot of money to be out just because somebody said, and it's a craft beer bar is the same thing. Oh, just pour me your favorite. And you do that and they're like, oh, I don't like it. Do you find that to be the case?
Yeah.
All right, good talking. So, and then...
thanks for I'm definitely going to start interrupting more.
So then we don't get to talk then.
All right, yeah, this guy. I want to answer both those questions, and I think I can probably do that like within one answer, I guess. So if people come in on a Friday night and we're already 2 rows deep and they want a Tito soda or a Bud Light, it's really easy for us to have that conversation now after all the time we've had with those problems. And I don't know, problems may be a hard word, but we just want to give the guests whatever they want. So when you say Tito soda, I only hear vodka soda. So I'm going to grab the one that I think tastes like Tito's and give it to you, and I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to have 2 minutes, right? That elevator speech. Not even 2 minutes, I have 10 seconds. Don't have Tito's, I got Granger's, same damn thing, but from Massachusetts. Yeah? Okay, yeah, sure, that works. And then next time they come up, they're going to say Tito's again, and I'm going to say, we just had this conversation, and they go, oh yeah, Granger's, and then we'll get the Granger's bottle, and that works out really, really well. And then for the people that they come in and they know that we're a cocktail lounge, to sit down and go, make me something.
Jesus, Andy.
All right, sweet. It's Saturday. It's 8:30 p.m. You sat down at my bar. You clearly have no spatial awareness.
I don't think I've ever done it when I was busy.
Make me something. I like it.
Yeah.
I like that question.
What if I make you get out?
No, I take that question. If you're open to it, like I'll mess around. I'll grab like some chartreuse off the back. I'll grab some Mixologist cherries. We'll have a good time with it.
I think that's
a
great.
cool conversation.
I think it's great if it's a slower night and you do have that time to talk to that customer, which is a lot of times. I mean, but boy, when it's busy and you're aggravated because you got people snapping at you and waving to you and all this stuff, that's when I feel that my patience would run out as a bartender. I would be like,
I feel like though when you work,
got
you're
nothing.
going to come in with that mindset that you're going to get that for, what, 50, 75% of new guests?
Yeah, you got to normalize it.
Yeah.
People, we're new to the block. I think we're offering something different at Honey Baby, a different style of experience. So you really have to understand that and normalize it. People are going to come in here and not know what's going on.
Yep.
QR code to get the menu open, I'm already leaving.
Karl.
And that happens. Yeah, that's all right. You know, we're not going to get everybody.
can't be everything to everybody.
No,
And I mean,
that's
it's even from the names of your cocktails, like the Oaxacan is delicious.
Yeah.
But if you read it off the menu, you do not come up with Oaxacan. And Oaxacan.
See, you don't even know what the hell it is.
No, it is Oaxacan, right?
It's Oaxacan, yeah. It's named after like I think of it as a surf town in Mexico, but even in the description that we have underneath the cocktail, in parentheses, say it with us, and it's like spelled out WAH.
Yeah,
Oaxacan.
because it does not look like you would never come up with that. And it's
Like it was my idea.
but I mean, like people are gonna, you're gonna have a certain number of people who aren't gonna order because they don't even know how to pronounce it, you know, and so it's. Do you feel like you said, you have to kind of do some hand holding, but is it getting easier the longer you've been open?
Yeah, there's less hand holding, definitely. We can guide people through the menu too, and for those that don't want to look at the menu, I kind of get the upper hand because I can just bring you to one of the cocktails we have on the menu that you refuse to look to, which is fine, totally fine. But that's a cost thing. So it is definitely getting easier. I would say the Oaxacan Old Fashioned is like one we're really happy to have. It isn't ours. We got that from Deaf and Company, big bar in New York, in Colorado, and California too now. They're a really influential part of how Honey Baby kind of came together conceptually.
Well, there's a good question too. Is there really any drinks that you can make that is your own, or is it just a variation on something that you copied that you liked somewhere else?
Yeah.
Is there enough innovation out there that anyone can come up with their new drink? I don't even know if there is. Just because
I don't feel like there's anything original being put out anymore.
Right.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like something that it probably won't be good.
Right.
It's probably a reason it's not done yet, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, for me, my philosophy on cocktail making now is like it all comes down to, I think, 5 or 6 different styles of cocktail, right? You have your martini, your old fashioned, your margarita, your Collins, which is otherwise your highballs, and then I'm definitely forgetting a different category. But daiquiris, I suppose, yeah. But everything falls into those categories some way or another. You should be able to look at anything. If it's tequila based, it's got fruit, lime juice, and a sweetener, that's a margarita. If it's a spirit, some bitters, and a sweetener, that's an old fashioned. No matter how it's broken down or how many different sweeteners there are in there or juices there are in there, that all comes back down into like something you can like see as a skeleton.
Yep.
So the old fashioned, when they first created that drink in a bar somewhere where they did it, what do you think they called it?
The fashion?
Yeah. Drink.
I don't know. There's like, that's the cool thing about whiskey and all alcohol. They got such cool stories, but they're convoluted with other ones too.
Yep.
Somewhere along the lines, Confucius said something about whiskey. I'm sure.
I hope he did.
But yeah, I find that what I think, I shouldn't say I find because I'm not really a big spirits drinker, is that there's so many different spirits that they're coming out with. And it could be the big companies, it could be the local companies,
Right.
that you could make that old-fashioned with something just a little different, or, I'll call it a flavored spirit that people can really, really like. But how do you convince them? Because a beer, I can give them a taste. You can't make a little baby taste of an old fashioned.
Yeah.
How do you convince people to get something that's a little different that they might like? How do you talk them into that?
Once you build your trust, that's part of your bartending job is build that trust with that random person you might.
And
never
that's
see
why you're
again.
doing Bud Lights, Dan.
Exactly. That's why I retired, Karl. Too many people trusted me in there.
Oh, there's a lot of trust in Bud Light.
Yeah,
You guys are like brothers at that point.
exactly.
The eyes meet, Bud Light.
Old
brother.
faithful.
Yep.
Right?
And sometimes I think if people come to the bar, that you can convince them to get a variation on what they think they want. And then there's people that come to the bar and you're like, okay, I'm making it just the way you want. Because
Well, it's like that's your opening. It's almost like an interview. You think when you talk to that person, you kind of be like, I'm sure you can kind of gauge for that opening conversation. Like, all right, this person might want to try something new, or this person just give them vodka soda, like you said, or don't even tell them that's something different because they're going to fight with you about it and not know the difference anyway.
Yeah. I mean, I cannot emphasize how much I love pouring vodka sodas, first and foremost. Love vodka sodas, easiest thing to make.
Yep.
Makes you happy, I'm happy.
Yep.
Can't emphasize that enough. Beer, wine, vodka sodas, send them all night long. If a guest comes in and they're like, I usually like to drink vodka sodas. All right, that's a great start. I'll say, I'll be happy to make you that, but if you want to do something a little off the path, try something different, we can go from there. What kind of flavors do you like?
Yeah, that's something I was going to mention. Is like, because I do this to Cam and John all the time, just because I'm an asshole, and be like, make me something, and Cam will be like, well, do you like spicy? No, I don't like spicy. All right, so that's off the table.
Right,
So then you
right.
can kind of ask
What are we
questions.
drinking tonight?
Yeah, kind of like what alcohol.
and the
do you
three
like?
people behind you are going, dude, just get a drink.
Well, we'll get to them, And again, if we can't get to them, they'd be. That's too bad, but hopefully we'll get them again sometime.
Yeah, but I mean, is that often? I can't believe that.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. There's definitely times like literally the QR code will scare people off.
Right.
Or they'll look around and we don't have any tables open, so they'll just like.
Yeah, but that's
do
different.
a
If people leaving because you're packed, you're okay with it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't know. I think a lot of people come into the restaurant as first-time guests. They expect us to be very similar to these other restaurants: large portion foods, full meals, kids menu, glass of milk.
Yeah, but the name of your restaurant or your place is called a cocktail bar, correct?
Yeah, and we also sign on the door that says "push it."
Yeah.
And still,
We can
You know
all
what?
text that most people don't
Point
read those
made.
signs.
Point
signs. And it's funny because like we love labels, we love signs, but not the ones that tell us what to do.
At Tolson's, I got people coming up. This has been the latest thing and saying, we carry one non-alcoholic beer. And they're like, oh, well, what kinds of non-alcoholic beer do you carry? I'm like, well, we carry this. Oh, you don't have anything else? I'm like, no. I got Sprite. If you want Sprite, what are you looking for? It's not a non-alcoholic beer bar.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Tell Jordan to stop coming over.
too many cops, man.
But it's one of those things. It's kind of like managing expectations. Like it's where it is craft cocktails. It's like if you order a Guinness, you know what you're getting into.
Correct.
Your beer is not going to be there in 2 seconds.
Right.
If you order craft cocktail, if you go in and you go to craft cocktail and they're going to make this fancy schmancy drink, you don't expect it in 3 seconds.
And I think that if they see you making the drink, even if it takes you 3 minutes to make that drink, one, it's a show.
Yeah.
So they like to watch it. And two, they're like, that guy's making my drink, man. He's making my drink. He's not just pouring my drink. He's making my drink.
He's got that big stampy thing.
Yeah, he's shaking.
He's measuring things.
And I
I've
think
never
people
seen
are
that.
more willing to wait for call it a craft cocktail, because they see it in front of their eyes.
Yeah, they want to see you work.
And they don't. They wait 5 minutes and they're like, guy he was into that drink, man. This drink is delicious. They might not even like it, but they saw you putting so much effort into it, and they're like, Jesus, it must be good.
Yeah. And I mean, it comes from that, when you sit down. You sit down and there's all sorts of, glass jars with colored liquids in them.
Yep.
I don't know what that is, but it's some sort of
That's
extra
correct.
special simple syrup that,
Right, yeah, all the different syrups and stuff. It's like a passion.
Yeah.
What I will say to some guests, especially first timers, what are all these bottles for? I say, right, so we take a chef's approach to cocktails. So we're taking our time making these syrups. We're here early. We're putting in the work in the kitchen to prep all these things for you, and then we're making these great cocktails from scratch for you. But I don't think we're doing anything nefarious. We're not charging Boston prices. We're not charging New York prices or anything like that. Again, leading back to that, I don't want to have this be a pretentious moment with you. You know, I want you to be here, have these cocktails, have a good conversation. Let's learn something about something. You know, I might toss a recipe book down and be like, open this up to any random page, and if I have the ingredients, I'll make it for you.
That's awesome.
It's fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's different, like, because not a lot of this cocktail restaurants here, but there's not a ton of like restaurants and bars like that around here. So
No, it's not. And I think there's a place for everyone.
Yeah.
Around here, especially. I mean, we've got more restaurants and bars and
the more variety, the
clubs.
better.
Thick and great community.
Great. I think it just you know, instead of going, hey, I'm going to the New World Tavern, people say I'm going downtown Plymouth and see where we end up.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think the variety that we have down here is more than a lot of towns, even with a downtown area. Some places don't have downtown areas, but some do. That they just want to walk around on a nice night and get a drink here, get something to eat here. Let's see what the next bar has, and go there.
Yeah, this is a great time to bar hop in.
Yes,
You get a little bit of everything.
you do.
Yeah. It is pretty diverse in what it has to offer. And again, I can't speak to how tight the restaurant community is in this town.
Mm-hmm.
It's really wonderful to park my car, walk down the street, and say hi to like 5 or 6 other servers, bartenders, bussers, dishwashers, whoever I know, owners. Everybody's just friendly, and we're all on the same level because I think we all went through a lot over the last couple of years. It really came together. At least since I've been here, I got moved down here because of COVID. I came down here to find work, basically. And you know, I also had this girlfriend who lived in this town who runs a pretty decent bar here too.
So
But
here's the question: $1 million question.
all right, do you have $1 million for me?
If you answer this correctly, absolutely.
Sweet.
What's next? Years ago, I'll say years ago, 5 years ago, the seltzer came out. And I said, yeah, this will last about a week and a half. Who's going to drink this shit? And then the vodka drinks came out, and the ready-to-drinks came out. And I said, yeah, right, who's going to drink this? What's the next thing that could come out?
That's such a cool question.
Yeah.
I think I found out about Jack Daniel's partnering up with Coca-Cola in the South, and they're making like at the ready drinks that are whiskey sodas.
I saw Mountain Dew is putting out hard Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
They're not good.
I mean, I didn't expect it to be at all.
because I'm thinking like, all right, so even if they add the right whiskey, like, do they get the rights to like the mash bill and how? Like, Jack Daniel's, whoever is making Jack Daniel's, makes the whiskey. Does it trade over? But that's definitely going to pull through. So that's kind of exciting, I guess. You know, are you a whiskey soda drinker?
I am not. But I wonder how that's going to translate to, like, if you're out in a boat and you get a can of whatever you want, ready to drink, which means, you know, the vodka's already in there or the whiskey's already in there. It's all you got to do is pop the can open and drink it. That's great. But I think for a bar or a restaurant, that's really not going to go over because people want to see their drink being made.
Sure. I mean, I'd be out of business.
And I say that, and then we just got in this, what's it called, Jess?
High noon?
High Noon, which I said, why would anybody get a vodka seltzer drink when they can have one made right in front of them?
So I was going to say that we fly through that stuff. We're going through.
We fly through it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great
now
idea
there's
for me to bring in.
tequila sodas and stuff like that, and it's, like we sell so much of it. At the same time, like, why would you do that?
Right.
But now I'll drink them because it's a little less low test than
Correct.
crushing a pint glass of vodka.
And I
or a
think
pint
that's
glass of tequila.
part of it is if you're going to get it at home, you don't have to buy like a $40 bottle of booze. You can buy a 6-pack. And then you get used to drinking them. And if you're out, it's not like you're ever going to be like, you made this too weak, you made this too strong. You know, it's that expectation. You know exactly what's going to be in that can every single time.
It's also ease of access.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, you don't have to tip on that. If you get it from the liquor store and you bring it home, you don't have to pay an extra 20% on top of whatever it was.
And I feel like I want a Tito's and soda, and the bartender's like, we don't have Tito's.
Right. Yeah. And you flip the table. I'm going home.
Because you're just like, I want a high noon, and it's a
I'm getting a nooner.
Yeah.
We just
I love high noons.
we keep the empty Tito's bottles from next door and just fill them up with that cheap shit.
Yeah.
Nobody knows.
It's like
You know?
I actually
It's a great idea.
younger in my career I was forced to do that.
Were you really?
Oh,
I'm just
really?
kidding. We don't do that. We don't do that.
I had to do that.
That's a special
it was
no-no.
really, really
Yeah, but you know
shitty.
what? That's so much effort to save so little money.
Yeah, every time they made me do that, I looked at them and I was like, "This is awful. This
Yeah.
is illegal.
It's
Don't make
illegal.
me do this." They go, "You got to do it." Okay.
Yeah, then you know that place is in trouble.
And it's also illegal to pour from a handle into something else, right? So if you're filling like a,
I think so.
Yeah, well,
Like, if you
I
fill Tito's
believe that
bottle
it's
from a
illegal. I
handle
don't know
of Tito's-
why.
but I feel like that's almost more excusable. Kind of like, oh, like we sold more than we expected. We're just trying to like
Just pour it
cover
out of the
our
handle.
ass. Yeah, we're just trying to cover our
Or
ass.
how about marrying bottles? That was a tough one.
Why is that?
My question would be, why are you marrying bottles? If you got a half of Tito's over here and a half of Tito's over there, just use the half and get a new bottle after.
Right.
Why are you taking the time to marry one so you can bring out the bottle anyway?
I know. Like at the end of every shift, they're like,
No, I
But
think that's just an extra effort that,
Why is that frowned upon? That's what I don't get.
well, because they think that it's not going to be the same liquid.
Oh, okay. That
It's-
somehow the bottom of the bottle isn't as
No, so in other words, if you're pouring something into something else, they assume that you're not pouring two of the same Tito's into different
Oh,
Tito's.
so the slippery slope. Argument.
Correct.
Yeah, I
Correct.
see.
so
Okay.
there's also a health code violation too.
Oh, sure. I suppose if it's that same bottle that's been married 400 times, it's probably a little icky.
Or if a case gets recalled, and they have to pull all those
okay.
bottles back.
Yep.
But you're like, shit, fuck. I don't know which one's which.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
but
fair. That's
still,
fair.
it's pretty. Not any 50 of the states can do that.
So, to change the subject a little bit, and I'm not sure who restaurant does this, or I know there are restaurants out there, so if it's one of yours, I apologize.
Yeah,
What do you think
sorry
about
if anybody
all these
decides
extra
to speak
fees?
to school up.
Some people are putting a COVID fee, some, I'll call it COVID's over, if you will. Some people are doing a admin fee, some
Talking
people are
about that
doing
place this weekend.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of places out there that are doing it. There's more than I ever thought that are adding a fee to your check that you don't know until you get the check, and it'll tell you
Hidden fees in a restaurant?
hidden fees.
What is this, a bank?
Why wouldn't you just
Add that to the price.
add it to the price of the
I just factor it in, right?
Yeah.
just factor it in?
Yeah.
If your martinis are $14, now they're $15. People aren't
Yeah.
going to say anything when they get the bill.
Mhm.
But when they say a 5% charge because of
And that dollar
X,
per martini is going to make you far more than the 5%.
that's
charge.
correct.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, do you know of people doing that, and why do you think they're doing
And
it?
who are they, Cam? Tell us.
I don't. I have not gone to a restaurant that charged a COVID fee. But I am aware of a restaurant in town that does. They have a sign right up front that says, because of COVID, we've added 10% to everything, right across the board. And that you just kind of look at and go, and you go on and you order damn food.
Yeah.
This was 10%. And why is the sign there? I mean, just do it.
Right.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Right, just
Yeah.
I mean,
roll it
is the
into the price
10%
that you
into
said.
the food, or is it you buy all the food plus you got to pay 10% as a fee? I think that's what bothers people.
I don't know who's doing that. I would reckon you'd have to ask a different question as to like what kind of guests you're really catering to. Like if they're noticing that kind of money, are you catering to people you really want to be catering to? I don't know.
But that was the argument that I was making this weekend. Is like, if you raised your prices 10%, you're raising it probably max $2.
Yeah, I mean,
I couldn't
if did-
fucking tell you what the burgers cost here,
Right.
and if they went up 10%, I wouldn't. If they went up 50%, I'd be like, whoa. But
if you see that 10%, there's a big difference between paying, $11 or $10. I should say there's not a big difference between paying $10 and $11, but there's a big difference to say, oh, now there's a $1 fee at the bottom. Like, well, what's this fee?
Yeah.
So I don't understand why people are charging fees
like are these steakhouses
for certain things. No, they're just regular pubs.
I don't know. I mean, because you're right. You have a point. Like you're not going to notice an extra $1.30 on a $13 cocktail
Right.
making 14.30 cents. You're not going to notice that.
Right.
I may say something about the weird prices, like, yo, why is my Tito's $11.82? It's really weird.
Yeah.
And I did go to a place, frequented it, that started doing weird prices for their drinks, and I just thought, like, you guys are kind of doing business weird. I'm probably not going to show up too much more.
Yeah.
But maybe at a steakhouse where, like, you know, you're getting a $72 steak, an extra 10%, that's $7 more bucks.
Yep.
That may raise a couple questions.
Yeah. But if you're also paying $70 for a steak, you're probably less likely to care about $7.
You're not even looking at it. You're
Yeah.
just signing.
Yeah. But like we had a conversation this weekend, how you're seeing the percentage of tip drop.
Sure. Yeah.
Really?
That's a weird one to see. And I'm not even just talking like 25 going down to 23. I'm talking like we've been having some nights averaging at like 18, 19%, which is kind of confounding because over an average night, there's some people who are like very gracious with us, and then people who are just kind of average. But no, we noticed that over the last couple of weeks that the gratuity's been like averaging 20, maybe 20.33, but otherwise 19 to 17%, which is definitely strange to see. But I have more macroeconomic views on that, and like people are just like, ugh, this drink sucks. Their lime juice is over expiration, which would never be an issue. But yeah, I don't know if you noticed that.
I haven't actually. I'm going to look into that after this. I'll tell you right now.
Yeah, it's definitely a strange spot to see.
Maybe it's your man bun.
You know, I have a funny story about this man bun, because it's not the first time I've rocked this. But when I was bartending in Boston, it was the first bar I worked at, called Mask. I love this spot. It's a nice Italian restaurant, and it's a bar that's at 7 seats. It's a tiny little space, and the beverage director of a very nice cocktail lounge in Boston came in wasted with another beverage director of another restaurant that was just about to open a steakhouse. And they sat down. I had a couple of regulars, and she started mouthing off to me about whatever. And she was like, "What do you make here?" We have a menu here. I don't want a menu. I want you to make me something. So maybe we can figure out or infer where they may have been from. So I make them this thing I was working on. I'm like 3 months into bartending, and I was obsessed with sidecar. So I was doing a sidecar with a Sousa liqueur, which is what is it? It's from France, and it's made with gentian. It's really bitter. It's kind of like a French Amaro.
Karl, do you understand any of them? I heard sidecar. And
Yeah.
get the rest.
Should I elaborate?
Then something about France.
France. I heard France. Yeah, I knew France.
Frenchies.
Yeah. Okay, go on. Sorry.
A little cognac-based thing. You know, it's tasty. It's like kind of citrusy. So I was using Sousa. I make it for her. She drinks it. She goes, "This is the worst thing I've ever made." She slugs it. Just, worst thing I've ever drank. Okay. And then she starts berating me on how I looked. I had this man bun. She goes, "If you applied to my restaurant, I would never hire you. I'd make fun of you. I'd chase you out of my restaurant for that stupid man bun on your head." I'm like, right. So then
Very
Are you
professional.
sure that wasn't me?
Yeah. It was fun. It was good. My regulars ended up closing out her tab. Being like, "You should go." Because I didn't know what to do. I was
And there with your beverage director?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought it was your beverage director.
Just
No.
a beverage director.
Two beverage directors, two different restaurants, both really good, well-off spots, I think.
Well, let me play devil's advocate and ask you, in retrospect, do you still feel strongly about the cocktail, or do you think maybe that you should have won? Because you said you were new to bartending, so was it inexperienced bartending that something?
I think it was the pure aesthetic of it.
Yeah.
I don't think the cocktail had anything to do with
Yeah.
it.
Oh, it's not right the way she went about it.
Well, yeah, no, it definitely wasn't. I don't know. I think the idea to her of sitting at a random bar, seeing a 22-year-old boy with a man bun try to explain a sidecar to her,
Just set it
and
up.
using Sue's probably just triggered her.
Yeah.
You know, is like a pretentious bartender.
They're called assholes.
Yeah.
He's like a little shit who doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
You have two options, right? Be kind or stomp on their neck.
So deep rooted
like people are always
insecurities.
assholes, but when people in the service industry are assholes to other people in the service, that's like a special kind of asshole.
Yes, that bothers me.
Yeah, it truly
Yep.
bad stuff. Anyway, so like time goes by, this restaurant called.
I mean, I've never had a bad drink. I've had drinks that really wasn't what I thought they were going to be, but I still drank it. If you're in the industry and you go to a different place, you're going to that place and you already know that place. You're not going into a place, unless it's, you're traveling. But you already know that place and what they can do and why you're there. But yeah, if you're going to complain about the drink that you get at a bar that you're frequenting, then you just
Shame on you.
Yeah, see you later. Just go somewhere else.
Yeah, it was all sorts of fun. So time goes by. I still got the man bun. A couple months. And this new sushi restaurant's opening up at the Millennium Tower, the spot where the Macy's was. Yeah. New tower goes up. Nice Japanese restaurant goes in. Food director, I believe, for the conglomerate comes in. His name is Stephen King. And I probably
Stephen King.
He writes books too.
Great books. I probably gave the guy a Bud Light or something.
Yeah.
Much cooler. We get to talking. He invites me to the soft open for his restaurant. So I go and I have a date with me, and we sit at the bar. We have free food, a couple of drinks. We're talking to the beverage director. I get to talk to the president of the company. We're having a great time, and I turn around behind my bar seat, and she's there. The one who's giving me all of the shit about my hair and about the cocktail, and her whole time she was sitting there just lounging and didn't recognize me. So I turned around to her again, and I nudged my date. I go, I'm about to go. I'm going to do something stupid. And I turn around and I go up to the table and I put my hands on the table and I look at her and I just take my right hand and I take my top and I just wiggle at her face and she goes, "Fuck you." And I walked away and I had a good time.
Yeah.
It was great. It was nice. I mean, that was a really nice restaurant to be invited to a soft open at. So it was funny to see her and be like, yeah, you're not that cool.
Yeah.
You're not that tough. You're not that tough. Full circle again. Don't shit on people who are in your senior.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
do it.
because you never know where you're going to end up, where they're going to end up, and
Yeah.
Listen, Karl, we shit on Karl as well,
Yeah.
but not today.
Jordan. We're
You're
the
great
great
today.
No, Jordan, he
Yeah.
sucks. Yeah,
Goddamn wing guy. What'd you call him?
Sucks.
we call him a wingaling.
Wingus, yeah.
Wing
that's
ding.
it. Wing ding. You guys
Should we do questions? Yeah, let's do some questions.
Fill it up. Where's stats?
South Boston.
Shit ass.
All right.
In the
Just so
jungle.
you know, Camp, they shit on me all through this part because I can't read. Caroline Nadine. Sure. How much do you pay a bartender for a private party? 60-ish people. Tips not guaranteed. Hence, the hourly Saturday night, 5 hours. Simple cocktail, beer, wine. Full functioning bar, supplies, easy money.
It's
But also Saturday.
not a bad question, actually.
Yeah. Especially with those parameters too.
So go ahead, you answer it, and then I'll tell you you're wrong. Go ahead.
$250 because tips aren't guaranteed, and I think $300 is too much.
Well, I feel like that's super cheap.
What if 60 people? You said 50 people. Let's go 50.
50.
So 50 people want to rent out a section of your restaurant.
Oh, I think this is a private function.
Private single bartender.
Yeah. Say
Yeah.
it's a room off your restaurant.
Yeah, like you have an event space.
Okay, and you're the bartender. Kim, you're the bartender. They want food, right? So they put up a buffet for the food.
Great.
Karl loves buffets.
Love buffets.
So let's say it's cheap money, $25 a person. Okay, you got 50 people. It's like $1 million. Do you think you should be tipped off the food sales?
Oh, for like a buffet? Oh, that's interesting. That's a really interesting question. I mean, that's not what was asked.
Because at the end of the night, let's say it's open bar.
Yep.
Okay, and one person is paying, and they say, okay, I'm going to pay for the food. The food is, what do we say, 50 times?
50-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So $750 for the food, plus all the drinks. So at the end of the night, Big Daddy comes up because he wants to be the big spender and tips you. Should you be tipped off the $750 in food plus, let's say it's another $500 in drinks? What is your?
I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
Who's clearing tables? Who's serving food? Who's replenishing buffet?
See, that would be my question because I'm not. I haven't had.
Well, let's say you got probably somebody in the kitchen that's going to set up.
If I'm picking up plates, then
You should be tipped.
Yeah.
Yep.
If I'm scraping off your spit and dirty food and those chicken bones that Jordan insisted.
Oh yes.
Get tipped on that.
Yeah, because I feel like even if you weren't doing it specifically, you would be expected to then tip out the person that was dealing with Jordan and bussing and all that shit.
Yeah, I'd say so. Versus a catering moment where if I'm just dropping off food for 60 people and then I'm going to bartend too, I imagine whoever's hosting that event, they got trash. They're going to be neurotic and cleaning everything right their house too. So yeah, they're good on that. Pay me a flat rate of $300 or $250 and send it along. I'll make the drinks for you.
Now, for a $300 cam, I'm having a private party at my bungalow.
Nice.
I don't know if you know what private parties.
He's got a bungalow.
Yeah.
One of those elephants.
Chicka bow wow.
Yeah. You've been there.
Pot too.
So 50 plus guests, $300. Is that beer and wine, or do I expect the full mixologist?
And who's supplying it?
Isn't there a company that does this? The Poor Guys.
The Poor Guys. Yeah.
Poor Guys. Yeah. I'd be interested to hear what they say. I'm sticking to my $300. I'll do beer, wine, and alcohol because I expect on a Saturday night at whichever restaurant I'm working at, I should be making $300 as a bartender.
Just 5 hours. It's not unreasonable.
I wouldn't take that as bonus money.
I feel like $300. I would honestly expect to pay more. I'd jump at 300.
I think if 50 people, I don't think that's outrageous. I think but if you're more than that, then maybe it's more.
Yeah.
Let me sell you on my platinum tier bungalow. Let me sell you on the platinum tier. So you want to have a party, there's no budget, and you want things green inspired because emerald is the color of the year 2022.
Well, that's why my topiaries are all green.
That's what I was expecting.
Yeah. I even dyed the pool green.
Dyed it or just didn't clean it?
It's my monthly jewel.
Is it emerald? What does that mean?
Very good.
My dad.
It's weird that you know that.
My dad's a man.
That's why he knows
It's
it.
still weird that you know that.
Big gem guy. All right, so you want an experience. So I would say we'll do the full liquor license, beer, wine, alcohol, everything. But I'm gonna probably limit your company to or your crew to 5 different specialty cocktails. And they're all gonna be really, really intense, but something I can batch out. You're definitely having dry ice. Things are getting smoked.
Okay.
Things are getting egg whites. There's going to be little umbrellas for Karl.
Nice.
Yep. But
You hired.
we'll have those 5 bases
You're not invited
cocktails.
to my bungalow.
Strong booze cocktails. All he wants is Guinness.
Yeah, with an umbrella.
Let's face it.
With
I
an
would
umbrella,
tell
anything can
Karl to
happen.
go to the wrong bungalow.
Now,
I'd hire an Instagram influencer.
as a bartender, do you think there's a big difference between a pay-as-you-go, where people are buying a couple of drinks, they throw tips as they go, or if it's all-inclusive and somebody's going to tip you at the end of the night? What's your preference?
Gratuity that.
Yeah, what
The open
kind of
bar
gratuity are you making?
I'd rather an open bar.
Yeah.
You'd have an open bar and someone's going to tip at the end of the night? Because you're going to get a couple of people that are going to throw a couple of bucks in no matter what.
Yeah.
It's an open bar. Even if it's 5 Bud Lights, they throw you $5.
Yep.
Yeah. I want my money guaranteed. How do you feel about that?
For sure. Something like that.
Well, then you get guaranteed in, but you never know what the guarantee is going to be. Usually, if you have an open bar, the guy's going to tip you pretty generously. Plus, you get all those tips from people kind of walking up. Because when I go up to an open bar, I'm always going to tip the guy a couple of bucks anyway. I get.
Do you feel like
gives you a
2 drinks?
Do you feel like people tip you more because it is open bar?
I don't know.
Because they're not paying for the drink?
So here's how I operate going to an open
a good
bar.
question.
Is
Yeah.
you go in and say, "Cam's my bartender." I make sure that first drink I tip him well. So he
Not
recognizes
paying attention
me.
to you.
Exactly. So Andy that didn't tip he's getting fucking the shitty drink.
Do you know what I also feel super obligated
You think
to
so?
do?
Absolutely.
Yep. Yeah. If he comes in, drops a 20, and goes, I'm gonna be drinking vodka cranberries all night. Sweet. Expect for the next time you walk up, I'll be done making whatever I'm making. You're next. You just skip the line. Sure. Yeah.
I also feel like the obligation, especially for like something like an open bar, like to wait for the bartender to like almost like make eye contact before the tip goes in. Because like if you tip with their back turned, then you're like, I did
That's
tip
correct.
you. Yeah,
You are correct.
I did
Yep.
tip you.
You want to see the bartender tipping you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, it's that building trust kind of thing.
Yep.
We were talking about earlier. You build that relationship, even if it's only over 3 hours, of course, time with a stranger. You still build that trust. We're both humans.
Yep.
I'm working. You're partying. Let's respect that.
Exactly.
But do you feel people tip you more when it is open bar?
When it is an
I
open
would say
bar.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because the guy at the end is going to tip you. Plus, you got people throwing you a couple of bucks here and there throughout the night.
And imagine through 50 people again on the telephone. Like, not everybody's going to hear it's an open bar. Some people are going to hear it's cash bar and bring cash. And then they're going to find out it's an open bar and go, oh, sick. Whoa, here's...
I was going to spend 100. This is a 20.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, they win because they didn't spend all their money. You win because they're really happy that they don't have to.
Yep.
There's a little extra incentive. When it happens, it's great. Does it happen every time? Not in my experience.
I've never worked in open bar, so I don't.
They are a lot of fun.
Yeah.
They are pretty cool. Especially if you have everything at the ready, like all your different balls and mixers. They're cool. My favorite was a buyout. Like, I love buyouts because then a guest pays or a group, call it a company, holiday celebration, they drop $5,000, close you out on a Thursday. That hopefully your manager or whoever's like coordinating that event is say, all right, buyout. It's $5,000, gratuities included, because you're going to fuck our shit up. 18% minimum, which I guess kind of like works out well for whoever is the client, because they do that. I've done several buyouts in Boston, and they're a lot of fun, because then you start pulling out the Yamazaki 12, all the really good stuff. Because those people, at least up in Boston, that were my clients at that time, they wanted the good stuff. If the CEO of the company was buying a restaurant out,
They hitting every.
Right.
Yep.
they're getting the McAllen 25 out.
Yep.
And typically they don't care because either it's not their company, so it's not their money, or even if it is the CEO, it's like, well, I can write it off.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, writing it off and paying for it are two different things.
Yeah.
Careful. Just because they write it off doesn't mean it's free.
No. Yeah.
But the buyouts are pretty cool, I would say. And then, people do tend to tip more on top of that, which works out fine.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good.
So,
Dan, has anybody ever tipped you?
I wasn't talking.
All the time.
Not this guy.
Yeah. I give you a tip.
Nicole Martinez. I own a restaurant in tourist town. During off-season, we are slammed with locals. During the season, the locals stay away due to the amount of tourists. We are so slow. They don't.
talk about
It almost sounds like fucking Plymouth.
Main
That's why
Street in Plymouth.
they don't know we are here. How do we market to tourists? Any ideas? So, like, that's why I want to bring this one up, because it's just like,
Jesus, if I had that answer, I'd be packed all the time.
Marketing sucks.
You can market all you want. I think the number of, I could be way wrong on this, but I think the number of people that actually see you on Facebook or your website, however you market that, they're going to go where they want to go, and they want to go where the touristy
everybody
places
knows your
are.
name.
That's right. They will know. That's the locals. That's the locals.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to go down to the touristy side. So in Plymouth, in the summer, we're a lot
it is
slower than we are
literally
in
a block
winter
away, which
because it's a block
Yeah.
away, and there's a million people walking down the streets, and they're waiting, 45 minutes to get into these restaurants, and I've got a half restaurant. Like, come on in up here, come on up here. But people don't know because they're tourists, and they go where they're,
So I have a solution for you. It's not your problems, Karl. You got to make friends with the people, the concierge at the hotels, people that work the front desk there. 'Cause-
friends are people who like you, Carl.
Yeah.
Don't be throwing the F-bomb.
You don't have to.
20 things for everything.
Yeah. But those guys, like, they'll. How many times have you been on vacation? Like, where do you think I should go? Send them your way. So that's your ultimate word of mouth for tourism.
But that's 100% a huge idea because there was a day when a bunch of concierge from Boston were brought down and kind of like wined and dined at Plymouth. And, they went down to Plymouth to Tuxtec to be like, hey, this is what we have to offer, because, those are the people who are going to direct the tourists when the tourists are like, I want to do something, and where do I go? So,
Yeah, the hotels are definitely helpful. I've worked with them in the past to coordinate events or just like throw them a pizza once in a while.
Yep.
Or when I was working at Parish Cafe, it was the Zuni roll. Give them the Zuni roll once in a while. And just be like, this is from this restaurant. Hope you think of us when your guests are going out for dinner. So all it really takes is sometimes just friendly howdy.
And you can tell them this is a bribe.
This is absolutely
they know.
I'll bring down a couple of pizzas every Friday for lunch.
Yeah.
If you tell your customers,
They know, and they
You know
don't
what does
care.
that mean to you in cost? It's a couple pizzas
right?
every week.
That's what I mean. I'll do it every week.
Yeah.
Which is, what I was going to say was, if you're really worried about bringing people into your business and you can't do it, hire a brand manager. Just spend a couple $100, get it done. Have somebody build you a few things, and then it's your duty to just share it online once in a while.
Yeah, but again, that's
Or
online.
for $6 a week.
Yeah.
If you don't, like, I'm not an online person.
We know.
If I don't see that, I'm not going to go. So how do you get that word out?
I thought about painting the town at one point.
Red?
Literally just painting it. Anyways, what's the next question?
But also just not concierge. You got to think about like what other retail locations are in, because at the beer cellar, I get asked constantly what's good for food around here.
Right.
I'm like, well, don't go to Honey Baby, don't go to New World.
Right, absolutely don't.
Yeah. And, but my
Yeah,
first
that's
question,
not
is always that same thing. Like, well, what kind of food do you
What
like?
kind of food you
Because I don't want to send you to Honey Baby and you'd be like, I'm a
I want a
Bud
steak.
Light, McDonald's kind of guy. So it's
Just your community, right?
yeah, just make friends and
Make friends. Go out.
what is it? Shake babies and kiss hands.
Yeah, that's what it is.
So that was what I sold.
Victoria Scott, which cameras does everyone use for their business that's not expensive and enrolls 24/7? So not to like tip anyone's hand, but like how much surveillance is in the industry now? Because I feel like there's quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's much more affordable than it
You
used to
get you can get cheap ones. And,
Yeah.
Just be careful what you're filming. That's what I learned.
be. Very much. Yeah.
Careful with those cameras.
Ladies'
are pointed.
restrooms not okay.
Just
Karl.
saying.
But also, I know of owners that used it. Yes, you're going to use it to monitor what's going on, but you don't have to overuse it.
You can't not overuse it.
Yeah. Okay.
Once you have cameras in, it becomes
Another feeds your anxiety.
it really does, and you just want to check it. Am I busy? Am I not busy? I'm not checking it to see if people are stealing or fighting or whatever that. I'm just saying, am I busy? Am I not busy? Is it slow? Is it not slow?
I just know I've heard resentment
it's
from
hard.
workers to be like, oh, I feel like all they do is like watch me on the cameras.
Yeah,
Because they'll be like, what, why aren't you
let
doing
them.
this?
Let
Why
them.
aren't you
Because
doing
my point is, if you're doing your job, what do you care?
that? Yeah.
If you're not doing anything wrong, then let me stare at you all day long.
Yeah.
If you're doing something wrong, then if you're afraid of being caught, then yeah, you shouldn't be working.
I suppose it's true.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the cameras are there to check on problems unless there is a problem.
Yes.
Then you can go back and look at if there was a problem.
If they randomly
But I'm
get
not-
installed one day.
I'm not
that's-
looking at my
stuff's
camera
wrong.
above the register 24 hours a day to say, she put a 20 in there. Did she take the right change out? That's not what I'm doing.
I don't think that's
I'm saying, is business busy? Is it, they're going to need me later? Is it, should I have brought another person? Or is the kitchen keeping up? That's why I have it.
So, what I think it probably does is probably heightens how people run their business. So, if you are a micromanager anyways, now you can micromanage from anywhere.
Correct.
So, I mean, that could just be...
You can just do it. Let's feel it. So you can unplug the cameras on Jordan.
There you go. A solution. That's not what she asked, though.
I don't have a good answer. I was
I
actually
don't know.
hoping you're going to give me a company so I can write it down for myself in the future.
Yeah, no, I think you can get cheap cameras, and if you want, you can see them on your phone. What do you care?
Yeah, I feel like
I don't
you
know
just go to
what it is.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Can you do like Nest for a restaurant?
We have a Nest outside. for like when we had a big patio. Now it just looks at where our line is, but the other ones we don't have, or some other brands. I'm sure you can.
Interesting. My favorite Nest story was they had like basically you plugged it into an outlet, but it's still an outlet, so you could control it from your phone. So I was working with this kid. He bought it and put it in his roommate's bedroom. His roommate wasn't around, so he could fucking shut off his roommate's like TV and just fuck with his roommate. I'm like, all right, this is gonna change.
I like the cameras only because it's good to have if some dumb shit happens. Like,
Correct.
I don't know,
Yeah.
if somebody spills a tray of beer all over your nice 3-piece suit that your boss insisted that you wear to work. Yeah, you want that.
Are you? That sounds like a thing that happened.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, but I mean, the perfect example. I mean, we've seen. There's a Plymouth Industry rant page.
Yep.
There's been multiple videos of people kicking over the patio heaters.
Yeah.
Guys running over the outdoor dining in their trucks. I mean, it's just another level of
necessary.
accountability.
Yep.
Tara Heron. We are about to remodel our kitchen due to a water leak. Suggestions for wall covering. Right now we have very old painted paneling on the walls. I mean, I'm assuming there's some sort of stainless steel. You just
Yeah.
Did you do some remodeling?
Next question.
Karl?
next question. But like, isn't there just like a kitchen standard, like stainless steel or?
Not stainless steel. It's I forget what the name of it is, but it's that plastic board.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, something you can spray down.
Yeah. If you have to ask that question,
Go to
you
Home
ask
Depot.
Don't use wallpaper.
Yeah.
Shauna Reisner, what are you all doing to keep your kitchens cool during the? Well, they're apparently having.
It's a great question.
Yeah. What do you do?
We don't.
Keep the hoods.
Here's a bunch of fans.
We have a wall.
We have a
AC,
window.
yeah.
I have a window.
Yeah, we have a big fan that pulls it out, but if it's 85 degrees, then
It won't matter.
it's 120.
Yeah.
What is your expectation for your kitchen staff in that heat wave? Just suck it up, or
Suck
do
it
you,
up. I mean, it really is suck it up. There's nothing I can do.
yeah.
There's really nothing I can do. If it's 1,000,000 degrees in that kitchen, it's going to be 1,000,000 degrees. I can't cool it down. I can blow on fans, and I can blow that 1,000,000 degrees towards you if that's what you want.
Yeah.
But it's even with the fans on. It's tough. It's a tough job.
Yeah, but we have a wall. Well, it's like wall AC units. It doesn't even matter. It's still.
Oh yeah,
fun.
like I worked in a small pizza kitchen, and they had AC back there, and the AC would be cranking, and you're standing. There's maybe 4 feet between like the prep station and the pizza oven.
Yep.
The AC's blowing right on you, and you're just getting
The hoods are
yeah.
sucking all that stuff out.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's nothing you can do.
There's nothing you can do.
It's
How
have a
can patients
buster or a
answer?
bartender water the kitchen.
Exactly, yep.
Like that's
Water
always
the
together.
kit, just
just
spray
take
them
a
down.
hose and-
Set off those sprinklers. And
Back in the
kitchen.
But yeah, it's a tough life working in the kitchen. But I feel like when you work in the ones that I feel really bad are like the ones that are like second floor.
No, the old buildings.
Yeah, like the
are
old buildings
fun.
where it's just like where it's just like this was never intended to be a restaurant.
Yeah.
and we stuffed a kitchen in somewhere where you know. Karl, I think that's the last call.
Last call.
Last call, Cam. Last call is where we go around the table and people can plug whatever they want to plug. Last episode, I started with Dan to put him on the spot. He was too ready, so I'm gonna go with Karl.
Excellent. I'm gonna plug craft cocktails. Call them a mixologist or a bartender. If you are a spirit drinker, don't be afraid to go in and ask for something that you've never had before, because it might be your next favorite drink. You never know that you like a drink until you had it, so have different drinks so that you can have what you didn't have before you had it.
That almost sounded insightful.
And come to New World Tavern.
Dan Mahoney.
We're not Tolson's?
No, we're not talking about Tolson's today.
Okay. We're too many tiers. Got
Too
it.
many tiers.
Mine's a serious one is
Ooh.
I'm
that's
sick
tough.
of driving home from work every Friday, Saturday night and seeing people crash into the woods. So stop drinking and driving.
Oh wow.
So literally see it probably at least every other week.
I think we should start Dan.
Yeah.
Dan against mother. No, what was?
I don't know.
What was
Don't
Matt?
get
Mother
yourself in
against
trouble, dude.
Yeah.
Drinking and driving.
It's Dad.
Dad. All right, Dan
Dad.
against drinking and driving. All right, Dad.
Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Support Dad.
Have a couple of drinks. Don't drive.
Take it over.
Uber. Hey, if you, never mind. Go
Call
on.
your kids. Call your wife.
Make friends with
Yeah.
the bartender.
Cam, what do you got?
So shout out to Honey Baby, definitely. Thanks for the job. Mondays, we're open every day except for Sundays. Mondays and Tuesdays, I'm cooking. So come get some smash burgers.
Smash burgers are
And
dope.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you can find me behind the bar. So come say hi. Let me make you a vodka soda. Shout out to the local new restaurant in Sandwich, owned by Jacqueline Lucher and the wonderful family. They're doing great jobs down there. So if you're on Cape, go hang out at the local. Go say hi. We got local beers, local food. It's the local spot. We got a pool table. And shout out to all you guys. Thanks for having me out here.
Yeah,
It's really fun. I was super nervous. This is my first podcast.
No, you're our 19th favorite guest.
I made it.
Out of 100
boys.
episodes, that's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's not bad.
Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna dovetail on Dan's.
Don't do it.
Do you guys know about Circuit?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So
I
there's
used to hit the circuit.
a new thing.
Different one.
There's a new thing in Plymouth. There's I think it's like 2 or 3 electric cars.
I did see that.
Yeah. And it's an app you can download.
Yep.
And it's the Circuit car, and it's fucking free. It doesn't take you everywhere, but you can get around downtown for free. You just download the Circuit app, and it doesn't run all the hours. I think they're still working the bugs out, but it's a pretty cool thing.
Andy, I've been staring out the window this whole time at New World.
Did you see the Circuit cargo
I've
bug?
seen 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're even on a Monday.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool, and free.
You can bring your dog on it, so I started dogging.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
They're
Is that the
sponsored by
dog? that-
Neutral.
Yeah, hope that-
They do not sell or give out neutrals.
No.
So everybody's aware.
They're just sponsored.
They're-
Not a booze
no.
cruise.
They do have sponsorships, and I think it's overseen by C. Plymouth.
Yes,
But,
that's correct.
Yeah, so it's a pretty cool new thing, and I downloaded the app and I've got to use it, but I feel like someday when I'm down blue-eyed crab end of the strip and don't feel like walking all the way home, or it's raining,
Sure.
just dial up Circuit and drive yourself down to the other end of the street.
I wonder if you can bring a cocktail into the circuit.
I don't think so.
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say if you don't tell them.
Oh, but yeah, you can do anything
Just
you
like
want.
Uber.
Discreetly.
You can,
Yeah.
just like Uber. You can do whatever you want as long as you don't get caught.
Yeah.
Don't crack it in the circuit.
Yeah. So,
Solo
crack-
cups of your friends.
As the door opens, crack it and get in. So
Yep.
what was that noise? I don't hear anything. But no, it's a cool new thing. Check it out. I've yet to use it, so I can't speak specifically, but it's pretty cool. If you like us or hate us, you can follow us at BarTalkCast anywhere on social media. Do you want to run the new TikTok? We should start TikTok. Probably.
Yeah, we're TikToking on Facebook.
We're not TikTok.
We're not
We're not
TikToking.
TikTok. I feel like we should though.
Then no.
We could
I don't
put
think we should
Karl
do
on
it.
TikTok. We think Tim.
I think you can be on TikTok.
Yeah.
That'd be some viral stuff.
Yeah.
You want to go viral?
Trying to stay away from the virus.
But so you can
Last
find us
time
on all
we
the
went viral
socials
was
at
the whole time.
BarTalkCast, and you can email us at bartalkcast@gmail.com with all your questions and complaints, and we'll check you guys next time.
Peace.
See ya.
Peace out.
And thanks for checking out the show today, listeners. If you enjoyed the content today, you can go over to patreon.com/inebriart to support the show. You can join over there for just a few dollars a month and help us provide this fun content that you just checked out. You can also email us at inebriart.com with your questions, complaints, and concerns, or you can find us on all social medias at inebriart or at inebriart6 on Instagram. And also don't forget to check out our other shows, Bar Talk Podcast, Old Colony Cast, Inebriart, and all the other shows on the Inebriart Network, which you can find at inebriart.com. Thanks again for listening.